Good afternoon. I will turn first to several decisions relating to requests for provisional release. In the case of Prlić and others, last week the Chamber denied, by a majority decision, requests for temporary provisional release made by Jadranko Prlić and Slobodan Praljak, whilst finding that neither accused posed a risk of flight or a risk of endangering victims or witnesses. The Chamber judged in both cases that sufficiently compelling humanitarian grounds had not been presented to justify the granting of provisional release. Judge Jean-Claude Antonetti gave a dissenting opinion in both cases. Last week, the Chamber also ruled on the request for temporary provisional release by Jovica Stanisic and Franko Simatovic. Stanisic's request was granted in part, with the accused being provisionally released today. He will return to the detention unit on or before Tuesday, the 3rd of May. This is to allow the accused to attend a memorial service for his late father. A request for provisional release for the period following the Rule 98 bis stage of the trial until the start of the defense case was denied, with the Chamber ruling that the Stanisic defense had not presented compelling humanitarian grounds justifying provisional release. Franko Simatovic's request for provisional release was denied. In its decision, the Chamber found that the accused would not represent a risk of flight or danger to any victim, witness, or other person while on release. However, the Chamber found that given the recent granting of almost 3 weeks of provisional release of the accused from 15th of March to 4th of April, it was not inclined to exercise its discretion in favor of granting provisional release for the short period up to the Rule 98 bis decision scheduled for 5th of May. Regarding the period following the Rule 98 bis stage of the trial until the start of the defense case, the Chamber ruling that the Stanisic defense had not presented compelling humanitarian grounds justifying provisional release. And turning now to activities in the courtrooms. Next Wednesday and Thursday, 4th and 5th of May, 2 oral decisions will be rendered under Rule 98 bis of the Tribunal's Rules of Procedure and Evidence in the cases of Vojislav Šešelj and Jovica Stanisic and Franko Simatovic, respectively. Rule 98 bis of the Tribunal's Rules of Procedure and Evidence provides that the accused may file a motion for judgment of acquittal on one or more offences charged in the indictment after the close of the prosecution case. After hearing the oral submissions of the parties, the trial chamber can enter judgment of acquittal on any count if it finds that the evidence presented by the prosecution is insufficient to support a conviction. Both decisions will be rendered at 9 a.m. in courtroom 1. The media accreditation period for the Rule 98 bis oral decision in the case of Vojislav Šešelj has now closed, and journalists who have sent an accreditation request will be contacted at the beginning of next week with further details on how to access the lobby and the public gallery on 4th of May. The trial of Zdravko Tolimir continues this week and next week, with the Chamber currently hearing the testimony of Esma Palić, wife of the late Avdo Palić, war commander in Žepa of the Army of Bosnia and Herzegovina, who was killed following the takeover of Žepa. She is the 102nd witness to be called by the prosecution. And hearing in the case of Micho Stanisic and Stan Župljanin resume next Monday, 2nd of May in courtroom 1. And finally, a status conference in the case of Šajnović et al. Will be held on 17th of May at 2:13 at courtroom 3. Office of the Prosecutor.
No statement from the Office of the Prosecutor.